Broadway Girl NYC, and it's Tuesday, it's 6 p.m. Eastern, and it has been one hell of a day. I am really feeling the toll of this Broadway shutdown and the self-quarantining, although I'm not sure that's the proper word for what I'm doing. I'm sheltering in place. I am not quarantined or self-quarantined. I went to the post office today and they wouldn't let me in because I didn't have a mask and gloves, which was like a real reality check. I did some grocery shopping and I heard people yelling at each other in the grocery store, which really freaked me out because like I just want everyone to be kind to each other right now. And then the big sad news for Broadway, and I'm sorry if you're hearing it from me first, but we lost one of the greatest playwrights of all time. Terrence McNally passed away today. He was in his 80s. He had some respiratory problems, and he caught the coronavirus, and unfortunately, he passed away today as a result of that. It is such an important reminder of the fact that we must protect our most vulnerable populations. I only barely knew Terrence. We crossed paths a few times because he was awarded with the Special Tony for Lifetime Achievement for the 2019 Tony Awards. And I worked on the Tony Awards, including making the tribute video to Terrence McNally. So I did a lot of research. My artistic partner, Jessie, and I made a beautiful tribute to him, which was shown in the theater to the attendees at the Tony Awards. Sadly, that video was only shown in the theater and not on television, and I haven't been able to find it online, but if I can, I would love for you to all see it. I'm going to be listening to Ragtime tonight and probably Kiss of the Spider Woman in the next couple of days, and just thinking about Terrence McNally, who was called sometimes America's Bard because he was so prolific and did work that was so important, especially, I should mention, in the LGBTQ community. Anyway, as always, even though I started with some tough stuff and some sad news, today's Broadway Shutdown support group is meant to bring joy and light and togetherness. And I'm really excited that I have two guests today who are a married couple, both Broadway actors, and they have been sheltering in place together. That is Jessie Hooker-Bailey, who was most recently seen in the ensemble of Waitress. She also understudied Dawn, and I got to see her perform in that role, and she's fantastic. And the other is Gilbert L. Bailey II, or Gilbert L. Bailey II. I have to ask which he prefers. Her husband, and he is in Beetlejuice in the ensemble, including being one of those dancing Beetlejuices. Beetlejuice? What is the plural of Beetlejuice? I don't know. We'll ask them. But so they are going to join me together. As always, please tell me how you're feeling. Let us all know if you have any questions. Yes, I see somebody, Denny, I think is how you pronounce your name, is noticing my Broadway swag in the background. That's my sippy cup collection. There is a lot of Broadway stuff around here, and maybe at some point I'll give you guys all a tour of my all my stuff. Here's another thing that I keep right by here, my Say Yeah scenery bags. This was a piece of the curtain from Kinky Boots, and it's embroidered, and then I have my little Broadway pin in there. There's stuff everywhere. I have a snow globe, a Broadway hair snow globe right here. I have some coloring Broadway pages, and this is all just what's within reach. Totally did not plan to show you any of that stuff today. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can FaceTime in the Baileys and them today. Hello, Baileys. Are you there?
Hi! Oh, it's low. I have to put you up here. Hi!
Hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
We were just talking about the fact that it's been a hard day for a lot of people.
Yeah. I know. We were listening, and then we were like, what do we do? Do we join in? Do we wait?
Well, whatever you did it perfectly.
Okay, great.
You're barely...
Can I turn it sideways? I don't think it'll work.
I don't think it will. Maybe lean it against something. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I might have to hold it. I could figure this out.
Below. We're not supposed to look like we're slick produced very
That's not where we're at right now.
And yeah. So I'm so excited to see you sitting so close to each other, not just because I can fit you both in the screen that way, but I am so just glad that everybody gets to cuddle with their loves right now.
Oh, yeah.
My family's in California. My boyfriend's in New Jersey. I haven't been physically touched by anyone except perhaps the occasional elbow bump in like 3 weeks. So
yeah, that's hard.
Through people who can cuddle.
That's honestly not, we're privileged in that way. Like, I haven't even thought about that there are some people that haven't had physical touch, and that's a major love language for a lot of people.
Oh, I'm getting it.
We love ya.
So you guys, you're sheltering in place, I presume. And you're still going out to exercise outside, or are you basically?
Yeah, I think I try to find a time and day where especially if it's sunny out, I've realized has been like, we're in our second week now. I have to get outside, like, especially if it's sun, I have to have the sun like touching my face at some point. It's just like super therapeutic for me. And we haven't been like out. I haven't been on the subway since they canceled the Broadway shows like almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And so when we recently went to the grocery store, we borrowed a friend's car and kind of Clorox the inside and did what we had to do in the grocery store and came home. And otherwise, we've just been here. We have everything we need here. So,
well, I'm so glad that you have not just each other, but also a piano, because they've been releasing our everything.
Yeah, that honestly, I was thinking about it today because I'm like, she's probably going to ask like how that started. And I honestly don't know. I feel like it was the day after that we were just like, do you remember?
I just play the piano and she sings, so we just do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you're in quarantine, so it's really just do what you would do if somebody locked you in a room for 12 hours, and that's what we would do.
And that's honestly, I was telling a friend yesterday, we don't do that though. That's not like a regular Jessie and Gil like schedule, like time together.
Well,
this is
like,
right. Yeah. Like, it's like we're in rehearsals or prepping for auditions or whatever it is. So it's kind of nice in that way. That's been like a little blessing to like, oh, we get to work together, and we met working together, but we haven't really done it honestly since.
What show were you working on when you met?
Oh, we met doing The Color Purple in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow. And now you're Broadway, I guess.
Yeah.
We're on pause at the moment, but
yeah.
There was a week when I saw you on back nights, or maybe matinee and evening on the same. I saw Jessie and Waitress, and then I went to.
Oh,
people do that a lot. They'll be like, I just saw your wife. Like, oh, great. I hope I see her too.
Well, you get some together time this way.
Yeah. That's been the nice thing. And it's kind of like, we were just talking, we're like, okay, like we try and like plan our dinners or plan our meals, and maybe like we want to make pizza one night, and then he was like, maybe we should make it like a special thing, like we're having a date night tonight, you know what I mean? Just kind of keeping things exciting.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but it's an interesting time for sure.
So Gil, first of all, do you say your name Gilbert Bailey too, or Gilbert L second?
I've literally never heard anybody say two. Yeah. Like, unless it's like when I was playing basketball, it'd be like GB2, like, or something like that, or like in my choir they'd be like GB2.
Well, I've never said it that way either, but for some reason when I read your name,
yeah, no, it's definitely the second. It's definitely the second, and I prefer the second. But
the second. It's the second. The second.
I. The second. I might try and change that back to what it was. Like, I like it, But
people, if they're searching for
people, I don't care. You'll find me if you really want to find me. But I used to have GL Bailey too, and that was good. But it's probably gone by now because I gave it up. That's just how those things work. Or somebody now heard me say it, and they just went, they just went, okay. People like take stuff. But like, yeah, I like it. I like it because it's hard to find, but
I was like, people want to find you. That's been a cool thing too about this like little video idea we've been having and getting to collaborate together. But also, it's cool to put yourself out there in the way. Like, I kind of love, not that we're selling ourselves, putting ourselves out there, but putting ourselves out there as a couple. I think it's like so important, and it feels good for us. So it's cool to hear like it feels good for other people. And I'm like, and that's just good to remind people that like, hey, we're married and we both perform.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not why I was doing it at all, but okay.
I think.
You guys sing the Maitland song from Beetlejuice together. I was like, the Baileys is the next Maitland.
Yeah.
And there was that line about the fact that they are definitely white. I would be like,
Oh yeah.
the next
There is
Maitland.
that line. I forgot about that.
I bet Eddie Perfect could adjust that line.
I mean, he adjusts lyrics all the
That's
time.
true.
Eddie Perfect is very
So
good.
I put it out there.
Yeah.
One, Broadway has to come back.
Yeah.
Probably.
Two, Beetlejuice has to find a new theater.
We don't
Yeah.
just find a new
Order
theater.
of business will be
Hiring me.
We'll put it out there.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, put it out there.
You can do the hardest part, which is that that it's not really a rap, but
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's
he's
It's
so.
definitely Restless to Tease. It's definitely not a rap, but like, yeah.
But
I
it's
can do
easy
it.
for him.
Yeah,
for
I can.
sure.
I can do
it's
that.
easy for you, Gil.
Very easy.
Yeah, he was like, he knew it already. But he's also been a part of the show since the beginning.
I also like actually.
He's been
rap,
hearing
but,
it
like,
from the
yeah,
beginning. And
that's-
he raps.
You can't do it off the top of your head, can you?
What from the
For the part for the
folks say, Adam, why do you polish your crib when you don't have a kid? And even if you did have a kid, this crib is too precious for placing a baby inside. So it'll simply exist to remind you your sense of perfection is just a reflection that you are not mentally prepared to make room for a kid, Adam.
Yes.
Why don't you live, Adam? Yeah, that's not a.
Didn't even have to think about it.
That's well, yeah. I mean, I guess you have seen that show or like been wings for it for you know.
Right.
Yeah,
You've heard it all.
yeah. I developed it too. Like, so I've known
All
it for
the
a long
workshops
time.
and stuff. Yeah.
What were you doing when you found out you weren't doing a show that Thursday night 2 weeks ago? Were you?
I was getting ready to do I was doing my day to get ready to do a show. It was a normal Thursday, and then my stage manager was like, "Hey, we're having meetings. As of right now, we'll see you guys tonight." And then like an hour later, they were like, "So no." She was like, and then it popped up on Playbill like about 15 minutes after that, everybody was closed. 5 o'clock, it was shut down.
We were kind of hearing through the grapevine too. I was following your stuff on Twitter, and I was like, oh, Moulin Rouge is closed, because I think that was the first, because they have a matinee.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I know 6 is opening tonight, so I was kind of keeping in touch with my friends doing that show and just kind of seeing what was going on. And then it was like boom, 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 like dominoes.
Yeah, they didn't tell any, like nobody knew. And I only found out about Moulin Rouge because I was supposed to go to that match. And then I found out about 6 because I was supposed to go to opening.
having a meeting.
But I remember you were like going to the box offices, right? And
Yeah, because then people were like,
here.
about, people were saying to me, like, oh, because I knew about Moulin Rouge, I knew about 6, so they're like, what do you know? What do you know about me?
Right. You're like, I don't.
I have a pattern right now. I'm in the theater district. I might as well go door to door. And then before I know it, the New York Times is retweeting me, using me as a source.
Right. Girl, that's how you've been doing it. You're the news, and people come to you for the news too, which is cool.
I mean, just because I was obsessed with it, and like when you're obsessed with something, people find you.
You're reliable.
Questions in the comments. We could have your favorite Broadway shows and TV shows. Do you have on those?
Does it have to be like what's currently or what was currently on Broadway like last week?
We make up the rules ourselves. You can do. I always
Harry Potter and the Curse of Child.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I think like your favorite. If somebody asks me that, I'm like, well, what do you want to know? Do you want to know if I could see one show for the rest of my life? You know, if I could go see a show currently playing right now,
right.
The show that changed my life the most, like the show that I those times.
There are so many options. You're right. I think currently, he just said it, but Harry Potter, Cursed Child. I love it so much. We saw it in London when we went to London in the fall, and then I got to see it on Broadway. He had already seen it on Broadway. I just think it's so special. I think I could see that show like at least once a week, both parts, and be like still so fascinated. But my favorite musical like of all time is Into the Woods. I love Into the Woods.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Got to see Bernadette Peters when I was a really little girl. They did a very short tryout. I don't know, tryout. I feel like it was just like a stop in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
And my parents took us to it, and
I love that.
like 7 maybe.
Wow.
But I still have a memory of it.
Ah.
What's
your fave?
My favorite musical of all time? I'm a big fan of West Side Story. I'm like I enjoy that score. I just think it's brilliant. Yeah. So West Side Story would be mine, and Parade.
Yeah, he loves Parade. That's what I thought you were going to say.
No, but like you always say that, and it's West Side Story first, and then Parade.
See, I'm learning too, people.
Definitely West Side Story first.
And what about television? Do you guys watch TV?
Yeah, especially now. We like total opposite things. Like most of the time, we're not watching TV together, but we try to be like, we have a show. We finished The Good Place. That was like our show. Love it. I love it so much. And I've been obsessed with Fleabag. I'm just really
watched Fleabag in like 2 days. I watched it in 1 day.
I've been rewatching. I finally like got him into it, and we're on the second season now. It's just, she's brilliant. Phoebe's brilliant, and yeah.
What do you think, Gills? Jessie said that you have different tastes. Is that like not your taste?
Yeah, I think Fleabag is a good show, but I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta watch Fleabag today. I like Superstore and The Office. I'm still watching Parks and Rec.
He's always playing The Office.
I love The Office.
I
think I read that today is the 15-year anniversary of the American Office.
Today is a great day then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be on
it's
the rest of the
It's
night.
definitely possible.
Yeah, it was 2005.
Because it was 2005 when that was when the first season happened, the first 6 episodes, but yeah, no, I like The Office, and I like Superstore. I like stories about like Americana, like, you know, people working in a very, very like American place, you know, like I love like Pawnee, you know, working in the Pawnee Parks and Rec. I love like, we work at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. I enjoy you know, Cloud9, you know, like I enjoy that, like,
you know what the realization I just had as he's talking about this, and this could have nothing to do with your TV taste, but when he was in between Bronx Tale waiting for Clueless to happen, he had a couple weeks off where he could have just like waited and, you know, gotten unemployment, whatever. And he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna work at why am I forgetting the name? The cream Ample Hills Creamery. And I was like, seriously? And he was like, yes. And Laura, when I tell you he was the happiest I've ever seen him. And now I'm like, it's so in line with like the things that you like when you're watching TV, like people just going to their job, serving people, coming home. He like just wanted experience of not, you know, doing what we always do.
Yeah, that's
and he was the happiest.
There's an Ample Hills right by my apartment, but I've never been to it.
Go. The ice cream's so good. Well, I mean, when everything's done.
Like, I was about to say, don't go.
Not now, not today. Are they even open? They're probably not open.
I'm preparing all my food.
Be careful. Ample Hills is like high in the saturated fats. Okay, that's like
so it's a treat.
That's like a treat. That's a definite like quick treat ice cream. But they're awesome. But like that's a
work there long enough that you got tired of the ice cream, or
well, no, I'm not one of those indulgent people. Like you know, every shift you could get a small. No, I do, but like no, I don't. Like I'm not like one of those people. I'm gonna go in every shift and like eat the ice cream because like that's how you get annoyed with things. Like I'd rather just
He's
have
a reasonable ice cream eater.
But I enjoyed their ice cream. Their ice cream was good, but you got to be careful because their ice cream is decadent and like
a small is like
it's
like
good. It's no fat.
I get very excited when I see that they have like goat cheese ice cream and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Oddfellows?
What?
Have you ever been to Oddfellows?
Is that another ice cream place?
That's my favorite ice cream place in the city. That's probably like saying I probably should not have like said that being like I worked at Ample Hills, but like Oddfellows is my favorite ice cream in the city. It's so good.
Ice cream. Like if you told me that I'd go the rest of my life with ice cream, I wouldn't bat an eye. If you told me I'd go the rest of my life without like cheese, we'd have a problem.
That's me too.
I'm more of like a person, so I cannot seek out ice cream unless I'm with somebody who loves it.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. No, I only eat cheese when I'm with somebody who must have it. You know what I mean? Like after that, but I think ice cream is a wonderful
Well,
gift.
that's the ultimate. Is it's perfect for both of you.
It's a wonderful gift.
Yay.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that people who like get annoyed with something like ice cream when they get the job there and they overdo it. I sort of wonder that about actors in musicals.
Every day.
I'm kind of like, oh, I could have every day. I could have Beetlejuice every day. Like, I've seen Beetlejuice, I think, probably 14 or 15 times already. And I saw Waitress that many times, and I'm not sick of either of them.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it 8 times a week. I don't think I could even listen to the album.
Yeah. You don't get sick of it. Like sick of it is a bad way of saying it, because like you love, like I love everything about doing Beetlejuice. I love going to work and seeing my friends and going out there and performing and doing, but like, you know, it's a job. Like everybody, you know, has days that like they wish they weren't at their job for whatever reason or not. And actors are not immune to that. You know, you get some bad news and it's, you know, you know, today is a rough day for you spiritually. And like, now you got to be here and you got to like tell this story. You got to be, and like some days you aren't there spiritually, you know, some days you're at a place where like you're a little down or you're a little upset and, you know, and you're getting and carrying yourself through. And that's like the way everybody is. So like it's not even like, I wouldn't characterize it as like getting sick of it, but I would definitely characterize it as a job, as anything is a job, and how like some days you wake up and you're like, God, I can't wait to get to work. And some days you wake up and you go, I mean, at least when we wake up and go, I wish that today I had off, at least you go, but you know what? I'm doing the thing that I want to. Yeah, right. My job is something that I want to be doing.
I've spent most of my time in New York at this point, not on Broadway, than I spent on Broadway. So I know what it's like to go and cater and babysit and do all of the things before I got my Broadway show. So a lot of the times when my body was tired or my mind wasn't right, you know, walking into the stage door, I did have to remind myself of like, I know what it's like to not be entering these doors, and that didn't feel good, you know? So it's like, it's perspective. And I think it's important though to acknowledge that it is a job and it is exhausting sometimes. And, you know, it's kind of the definition of insanity, doing the same thing every day or 8 times a week, you know, but there's something really awesome about it too. I think that's what's going to be really interesting about this time. And hopefully I hope God willing, like we all get to go back to our jobs. I mean, I was auditioning, but you know, going back to your jobs in Broadway, coming back, I think it's going to bring a new perspective, hopefully, you know, change the tone.
I definitely people who are like self included who would be like, oh, what I wouldn't give for just like a month where I could do nothing, sleep for 10 hours a day, watch TV and to do anything. And then all of a sudden I'm like, but wait.
Yeah.
I'm so bad because like I'm not like
this is why this is a good conversation, because
I'm like,
is total opposite.
I'm just like, you know, I'm happy for health, I'm happy for safety, I'm happy for this, and I do kind of, and this is like heady whatever, but I do kind of believe in like spiritual renewal and like the universe kind of directing and pushing and doing, and like if this is what the moment is, then to kind of just like relax in that moment and let it be that, you know. So whereas like you know, you woke up today, it's like giving yourself a purpose, right? Like I find like a lot of people are mostly lost because now they don't have a reason to wake up, and like because they were using, you know, whatever their responsibilities and obligations were to be their reason to wake up, and now you're having to retrain and recheck in with yourself as to like, what is my reason to wake up today? And like for Gil, sometimes the reason to wake up is to just sit at the piano and practice scales for 2 hours, and like I never get to sit at the piano and practice scales for 2 hours. So today that's enough of a reason to take a shower and go sit at the piano and do it. And it's just like reshifting that mindset, because no matter what, you're in it, you know, this is where we are today, and you can focus. You can like focus on the fact that you can't go to that other thing, or you could give yourself another reason to wake up. And it's fun because like now the reason to wake up is on you. It's whatever
you want to do.
You have to give yourself a reason.
It is those days too, because I think you were talking to friends and you were saying one of them was like, you know, I kind of like asked and begged for them, like just this time for rest, this time to work on other things, this time to put my mind in a different place, you know. And but it is crazy just how quickly it happened, and it's definitely
well, and I also didn't think about the fact that I also, if that wish came true, I wouldn't actually be able to like, you know, be my friend.
Yeah.
Is it the universe
exactly.
fun?
But I will say that I have my own sort of spirituality, which I equate to being a professional audience member.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much in science, and sometimes I feel like human consciousness is just an accident of nature, or like a like really complicated mating ritual or something like that. It's but then I also know I believe in two truths at the same time, because that's what I do when I go to theater.
Yeah.
Disbelief can make my life better. And so I've decided to live as if I believe in magic, or as if I believe in a higher power, even though, like, if I was testifying in court, I'd probably call myself an atheist.
That's interesting.
But I'm planning, this is one of the things I want to get done this break, is finally writing my book. And one of the chapters I want to call Suspended Disbelief, Spirituality for Atheists.
You have to watch it. You have to write it.
I know, right?
You have to do it.
Well, here's the
what that is.
example of how I put this into practice. One of my neighbors has left town and left probably an iPad plugged in with a 6:45 alarm that goes off every weekday.
Nice. Nice.
And it is probably my upstairs or directly upstairs neighbor, because I hear it so loudly.
Oh God.
So sleeping. And instead of being like, my asshole neighbor,
Yeah.
tell them when they get back, instead I'm like, what if I believed in magic, or
Yeah.
in like the universe existing just for me, then I would say, universe, set that alarm so that I would get up, do my meditation, and write in my journal every single day.
What a
Good for
blessing.
you.
So it is a blessing, and I do that every day.
Yes.
And I think the last time I wrote in my journal 10 days in a row, or the last 10 days in a row, but
That's amazing.
because the universe set an
alarm. Yeah.
plus for me. Now,
Absolutely.
do I actually scientifically believe?
No. But coincidence is a scientific principle as well. You know, like so.
Like Celia.
Yeah. Nothing is without its opposites, and therefore there can always be two things held at once. There can always be again. Yes, you can not believe in somebody's predisposed idea of God and also believe that there's an all-encompassing, unifying principle to the universe. Though both those two things can exist constantly. You know.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like they say in Beetlejuice, the universe is random, but random for a reason.
Random for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You really do like the show. This is good.
I like that show so much.
It's so good, isn't it?
If it wasn't my job to love it, you would probably be scared by it.
No, I'm glad you like it.
A lot of people do. I always I think because when you're in something too, I'm like, babe, people like really love your show. Like when after Waitress closed, I did like a month of like teaching, and the minute they found out that my husband was in Beetlejuice, they're like, oh my God, does he know this person? Like, run the car. And I'm sprung. Yes, of course he knows those people. You know what I mean? But it's just funny because I have to remind him. And he's like, oh yeah, well yeah, you know, like of course, yeah, it's a good musical. I'm like, no, there's a fan base.
Anything can become normal. And I know that just from having like my friends in shows. I mean, I've known Alex Brightman we go way back. We've been close friends for a long time, and you know, and people, especially people who know me through my social, are like, wait, you've met him?
Yeah.
I've like slept over at his house. Like,
did you know that they were roommates?
We were roommates at one point.
He lived here.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah. And I went to college with Alex's wife. Like strange, crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
I get it. I don't know why people feel that way about those things. Like, it's like, Alex is a great guy. He's just my friend. You know what I mean?
But his work is awesome and all those
Alex
things.
is amazing.
Yeah.
But haven't you ever had actors or famous people, sports athletes that you've looked up to and been like, whoa, they're superhuman. I can't believe they have friends they just hang out with?
Yeah.
I've always been like, whoa, I love them. I've never been, the concept of like them being human beings has never been outside of me. I don't know why that is. Like, I met Tony Hawk the other day, and I was like, I was not at all surprised to see him there with his kid and to be like that makes sense to me.
But it was the most excited I've seen you over someone. Like,
yeah.
He called me to tell me Tony Hawk, and I was like, cool, you like still pay attention to Tony Hawk? That's amazing.
Tony Hawk's amazing. And like Tony Hawk,
no offense,
Tony Hawk still skates. The man is like pushing 50.
I mean, I know when Gil is excited about something, if he's taking selfies, like, and posting it, I'm like, okay, he's really happy about where he's at, or who, you know what I mean? He's not someone that's been on social media a lot and loves it. So when he's doing that, I'm like, okay. And with Tony Hawk, he got a selfie. I saw he was on Twitter. He hasn't been on Twitter since 2018. He went on Twitter to tweet to Tony Hawk. He posted photos. I was like, okay, Gil loves Tony Hawk.
We had a good conversation.
This.
Tony Hawk was really cool. But like, that was the thing, was like, he was really cool because he was like just a person, and like to accept, like, yeah, man, like, yeah, I get like your flesh and blood. Like, I appreciate the thing that you do, you know, but like, I don't think that negates, again, holding the two ideas. Like, my adoration of like your work, I never like I've always been able to separate that, like, there's a whole other life and a humanity to people, and I've never like and to not like take it, but I get that it's like a fandom.
But like, let me just try it one more way. Let's say you had a teacher that you known for like a year, and then you found out that teacher spent Thanksgiving at Tony Hawk's. You're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be like, okay, what'd y'all eat? You know what I'm saying? But I would be like, oh, I get like, oh, so are you from Cali then? Like, it would, honestly, for me, it would spurn more interest in the conversation as a, like, because like, I know whatever the instance is, it's like, I have friends I've eaten macaroni with, and maybe I guess that might also be like a part of like doing this business, like of being like, well, Alex Brightman was my roommate. Do you know what I mean? So like,
I could say, oh, go ahead, I interrupted.
So like, I know that thing of like, like I know what it's like, so I know what it's like. You know, maybe that started to train in that. Like, if you told me you were eating, then like I'm like. If you told me, you know, oh yeah, me and Michelle Obama, like, yeah, I know, I'm at her house, I'd be like, whoa, okay, so what's up? Like, you from where? And like, I'd be just interested in like
how they
what the line got you. I'd be more interested in you and the line that got to that and why that connection happened than the fact that you were eating with Michelle, because she's got to eat. You got to eat with somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm the opposite, and I think Waitress though helped because it started, first of all, getting into the show. And I remember watching the videos on Instagram and on Playbill of the people in the show, and Sarah then doing the show. So then when I was in it, I was like, wow, what really would be cool is if Sarah Bareilles came back. And then she came back within a couple of months, and I was like, I can't believe. And she's like a friend, and I love her very much, like knowing her as a person. But it's the same with Shoshana Bean and Jeremy and like Eric and all of the people that have come through the show that I'm like, wow, it's so weird that like I came into the show with Katie Lowe's and I watched all 7 seasons of Scandal. So that was a moment where I was like, oh, she's a mom, she's breastfeeding, like she's, you know, going through, and we started having conversations about life that then it was like, I would leave rehearsal and everyone's like, you just posted a picture with Katie Lowe's, and I wasn't even thinking about, it's Katie Lowe's, but like, this is me and my friend and we're learning a show together. Yeah. So it's weird. That show definitely helped with that. I think otherwise if I met them, because they would have friends come back, and I mean, when Kerry Washington came, I was scared. Like, I get very, like, I don't want to be mean, you know, I don't want to intrude on people's time. Right. There's a part of me that I just want to be like, I love your work and you're amazing. You know?
Kerry Washington?
Huh?
Did you get to say that to Kerry Washington?
I didn't get to say that. It was just a hi. I just said, I'm a scaredy cat. Like, I get too scared. Like,
I'm not. Tony and I had a full conversation. Tony and I, like, full conversation. We both follow each other now on Twitter.
Yeah, but it is funny. It is funny now, you know, Show is like one of my, like, she's like a sister to me. Like, and Marco Poloing with her and talking to her and us, especially during this time, right? Like, as artists and as people, to just be like, wow, I'm feeling this, that I don't think twice about, oh, it's Shoshana Bean and she's feeling the same way. It's just like, oh yeah, this is my friend.
That shows.
It's a I feel like everybody should get to like spend some time with a celebrity who is on, because I have this teeny little social media friend. I'm so far from being this, but still there are people recognize me on the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange to somebody will come up and be like, gosh, I was say hi to you because I've been watching you. I now people, I used to watch you on AOL Bill. I was in elementary school, and I'm like, how old am I?
Old enough. Come on, fans.
We're on Broadway right now. Who told me they grew up watching my?
Oh no!
Come on.
Okay.
You're an institution. That's
But-
awesome.
But then I'm also kind of like, don't assume that I am a mess. Like,
Right, you're
I
just
don't
a
like
human
think that I'm a superhero because I'm a mess.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
They're all good lessons.
Yes.
What do you guys have planned for the next couple of weeks? Are you just taking day by day? Do you have any do you have any nights planned to do together?
I feel like overall we take things, day by day, right?
Yeah,
Unless you have plans.
I have a stack of work to get through. I'm also working on a
He's
novel
writing
idea and writing and doing some stuff. So that's the plan, to be productive. I know some people are like, don't let anybody tell you have to be productive with this time, whatever.
And that's a real thing.
Like everybody take it.
Don't tell anybody that you can't be either.
Yeah.
I'm a productive spirit. So like if I've got to be here and not got to be, like, I really am happy for the time of it. Mm-hmm. So like, not without the struggles of it, and there are some horrible things happening, and all of that, should be taken in its truth and its fullness, but also at the same time, the hours that I have to like really invest in me and invest in what things I just haven't gotten a chance to do, I'm going to take that time too, because that's also honoring my humanity and honoring who I am. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
It reminds me of is like when it's been freezing and snowing and it's like the middle of January, all of a sudden we get weird global warming, 70 degrees. There's people who are like, to go out and enjoy the sunshine because it's a sign of the world ending. And there are people who go, that sucks that the world's ending. And also, going outside and enjoying the sunshine is not going to encourage the world.
Right.
It's me enjoying the sunshine is not me signing off on global warming.
Yeah.
Saying I'm going to make the best of a situation that sucks, and I can do that while still acknowledging that the situation sucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's so easy in this situation too to kind of just get wrapped up into the 24-hour-ness of it. Even more so because like you can't have it broken up by work and can't have it.
Right.
So like there's only so informed you can be. There's only so many CNN episodes you can watch before they're all saying the same thing on it. So like, it's about how you want to spend your time. Because
you kind of go.
Oh,
you're done.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
We've kind of had a little routine where, we wake up some days earlier than next, then we usually turn on right in time to watch Governor Cuomo, who we absolutely love. And that's kind of how we get our information together. One of us makes breakfast, and then it's kind of like we do our day. I'm like a yoga. I've been doing core rhythm fitness too. Like any online free workout, I'm trying to just switch it up a little bit, meditate, journal. And then it's like, okay, what do I have to do? I've had random audition, video on Zoom auditions for projects, and I'm also taking an on-camera class. So I'm trying to stay sharp in that way, but I am looking forward to in this next week alone is just I don't have anything in the foreseeable future. So I'm excited to just kind of be and do a little bit of nesting and being with myself. Cause I honestly haven't had that. Even before all of this, it was this audition and this thing and this thing. So I think it'll be good to this whole journey since Waitress closing for me has been about, because right before that was Beautiful.
Yeah, and I saw you with 1 week. I saw your final show in Beautiful.
You saw me
wait a second.
That's so crazy. Yeah, so it was amazing, but for 2.5 years, my life was planned out. And I loved it. And then when it was time to go, I was definitely ready to go. I was like, okay, for the next thing, ready for a little break and then the next thing. And now I was just getting over the hump of okay, next thing could come now. And now we're at a standstill. So it's I think Jessie just needs to spend a little bit more time knowing who she is without a show at the end of the day or in the afternoon.
That's great. Well, I have to say that both of your energy has totally been and supportive and like total gift to me today.
Oh, good.
I can't wait to like watch back and just laugh again and like listen to you do that Maitland song.
I know it's out there now.
There's one thing I have to ask you while I have you right here, which is have you heard anything about any in the future for Clueless?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Beetlejuice. I didn't expect Clueless.
I have not heard anything. That's the end word on that. And of course that's cryptic because I've heard some things, but I haven't heard anything that would be of any particular
interest. Wasn't he so good though?
Right now.
Okay, so Clueless was, because I was born in 1979, which means that Clueless, I'm the same age as Cher.
Oh, come on, Cher.
And so that was like the movie of my teenage years.
1979 for real?
Yep, 40 years old.
You're a girl. You're gorgeous. Yeah.
That's why all of these 22-year-olds who are on Broadway now, like, I grew up.
I was honestly wondering when you said that. I was like, how did they grow up? But I was also like, kids now are like, I grew up and they did something for 5 years. I'm like, I grew up on that. It's like, you did it for 5 years. That's not growing up. But,
yeah, no. I mean, I got my Broadway Girl Twitter account in 2009. So there literally are people who are 20 now who 10, or 11.
You are an institution. Good for you. Kill it.
Right. That's the original Broadway social media influencer.
Yeah.
But seeing you in Clueless the musical, I mean, just the fact that musical was like, that it existed was so exciting. But I put fingers that it will make the jump.
Yeah, keep crossing them. That's all I can say is keep crossing them. Yeah, it was a good time, and I really appreciated that team and love everybody on that team. It was fun. That was a good time.
Best friend's name is Cher, and I brought her.
Oh, fun.
I introduced myself to you after the show. I was like, I'm a friend of Jessie's, and you were like, I am a husband of Jessie.
I am.
Clever man.
Thank you guys so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
For the Baileys as a duo. I really think that there is a Green Room 42 or 54 duet.
You know what?
Your future.
I like that venue too. Like I like Green Room. Like
I love
Green Room. Like it's like popped up and I'm like, oh, that's my favorite place to see people do stuff now. Like
yeah,
you could do
go ahead.
70 minutes, no minimums.
Yeah,
cheaper than a rush ticket on Broadway.
Someone commented that we should do something like that, and I asked him. He's like, "Who's gonna pay for it?" Because those things cost money. But I was like, maybe that'd be a cool thing. I'm sure so many people after this time too, right? Will have things and ideas. But I'm like, it might be cool to do just a little like coupley.
Well, let's talk about it because I don't have any money right now, but I also am getting into producing. So
great.
Maybe I produce a Bailey concert at Green Room 40, have a cocktail special, maybe, please.
Yes! Oh my God, you got him sold.
Oh, wow.
That'd be cool. I think people would be into it. We'd be into it, so that's what matters.
Of course, and your casts would come. And
yeah, that would be a fun night.
Well, let's keep the conversation going.
Okay.
I was going to say keep your spirits up, but you guys don't seem to be having any issues being spirited.
We're trying. It's definitely, I feel like the days ebb and flow. I start the day and I'm like, okay, then I hear some news. The Terrence McNally stuff really took me for a second.
No.
So I think just like everyone, remembering everyone's kind of going through the roller coaster that you're not alone,
Yeah. Well, this is the exact purpose of why I wanted to do this every day, is to give everybody an opportunity to just bring their light, to lean on each other when they need someone else's light. Oh, and an announcement actually about the future of the Broadway Shutdown Sports Group. Now on Friday, I'm not going to have a special guest. I am going to invite anybody watching in for 3 to 5 minutes to talk about how they're doing. So it's like a
nice
round table version. I'm going to call it like how you doing group.
I love it.
So on Friday, anybody's invited, and I'll just, as they request to be in the video, and we'll for a couple minutes see how that goes.
I love that idea. Thanks for doing what you're doing. You're keeping the spirit alive.
I'll talk to you both soon.
Thanks for having us.
Anything you need from me, let me know.
Oh, thanks. You're sweet.
Air hug.
Yeah, air hugs.
Give yourselves a hug. other a hug.
Okay. Distancing.
No, don't dare social distance from each other.
He'll use that though. He will.